This new Roblox anime game was surprisingly good. And for me personally, out of all the games that have released in 2023, this is probably gonna be my favorite one. And before y'all think I'm dragging it, I know Seiji4 also said it was his best game of 2022, and that was a way worse version of this game. Since then, it's been revamped a ton, there's a ton of new content, and it's just overall 10 times better. But going into this, I really didn't think the game was gonna be that good, but after testing the game for about 17 hours now, I could definitely say I enjoy it a lot. And there's a lot of reasons for that, so let's get straight into the video so I can explain myself. I stream on Twitch daily.
God did.
So the game I'm talking about is called Jump Warrior Z, and I feel like it's gonna appeal to a lot of people. So the main basis of the game and how it essentially works is you're gonna be collecting a bunch of different anime moves and anime powers and combining them into your own custom build. So let me give you an example of how this works. You could get a move from Luffy like Gum Gum Bazooka, then you could get another move from Ace like Fire Pillar, and you could get a bunch of moves like that. And you also have an ultimate move, like let's say you fight Whitebeard, who's a boss, you could get his Tsunami move, and I'll show what that looks like on screen. But essentially you have a lot of customization. You have a class, you have attack, support, defense, ranger, and all of these come with different buffs. For example, support can heal, ranger is faster and has auto aim on some moves. But essentially what this means is you're gonna want to make your build around the class you pick, and this will also determine what type of weapons you get. For example, ranger uses guns and daggers, attacker uses swords, I believe support uses spears, but I don't want to get into that too much just yet because that's kind of complicated. But I just want to let y'all know there's a lot of customization. But it's time to talk about probably the most important thing for most games, and that's the progression. In this game there's 3 different ways to progress, and they were all pretty fun to me. Now for full context, I was progressing with my friend, so that definitely has a little to do with it. But the first way to progress is through the story, and the story is divided into 4 different arcs, where you have a Dragon Ball arc, a Naruto arc, a One Piece arc, and a Bleach arc. And each of these arcs has 5 missions and a main boss. And the main boss usually has a lot of drops, but there's also a bunch of mini bosses that have mini drops. But in this example, you fight Zabuza, who has all of his moves as different drops, and he has a Sharingan as a drop. And if you do get the Sharingan, it's essentially a part of your awakening because you can customize your awakening. For example, you could also get like the Raikage cloak, the lightning cloak, and stuff like that. Now the second way to progress is through ranked PvP. Currently there's 1v1, 2v2, and 4v4, which is like a different game mode kinda. But if you win, you essentially get a currency for playing ranked, which you can spend on XP or gems and stuff like that. And I don't think it's as fast as PvE, but I believe it's still pretty fast. But the benefit is it's definitely way funner in my opinion. I really like this combat because it's really similar to ABA, and I like ABA combat. It feels very smooth. You have the up tilt, the down slam, the long combos, but you also have an evasive, so that helps with the long combos a bit. And don't get me wrong, the combat is definitely not perfect or anything, but I feel like a lot of people will like it just because it's pretty basic. And for me personally, I could really hop in there and just have fun. It's really not that serious. But they still really are incentivizing PvP. They're essentially running tournaments for exclusive weapons. They're gonna do it for the 7 Swords of the Mist, and I assume more weapons after that. But essentially what this means is you could be like the only person with Zabuza's sword or the Kisame sword if you're really good at PvP and you win the event. And I'm actually really curious how y'all feel about this, because me personally, I do like it to an extent because it does incentivize PvP, and then people are really gonna feel exclusive if they do win. But at the same time, I really feel like it kind of wastes some of these really cool blades. Like imagine if these were like 1% drops, a bunch of people could still have them and they would still feel really cool to have. But instead only like 5 people, I don't know, that's just me. I think it's cool either way though. I feel like what could work if they're using too many cannon weapons on these exclusive tourney items, maybe start making custom ones for the tourney. Now the last form of progression in this game is raids, and raids essentially besides PvP seems to be the main PvE endgame content. But right now there's only 2 raids. Currently they got a Whitebeard raid and an infinite mode. The infinite mode, you essentially just fight a bunch of different bosses from the story and just like waves of the normal NPCs in the game. And the Whitebeard one is just the Whitebeard boss, but he's the hardest boss in the game. I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of crazy and he's got some really good moves. Now besides the boss drop moves, the main way you're gonna be getting moves is through the banner. It's essentially like other games like All-Star Tower Defense or like Anime Adventures even, I'm pretty sure. But you essentially get gems from pretty much just playing the game. Pretty much everything in the game gives gems. They got tasks, daily quests, stuff like that. And after 60 spins, you get a guaranteed legendary. It might seem worse than it is, but for me personally, I only have 17 hours on the game and I'm about to get my 3rd legendary. And that's only including guaranteed legendaries off of pity. So pretty much you're guaranteed a legendary by pity in like the first 5 hours. Me personally, I really don't think the grind is that bad, but y'all can tell me what you think. You also get coins kind of just the same way by just doing things, and essentially the coins are used to open weapons and buy awakenings. I'm not gonna lie, these weapon rates are actually kind of trash. I still haven't gotten a legendary weapon, and the legendary weapons are kind of trash. They don't really do much. Another thing that's kind of dumb right now is the fact that you have to have a private server to do like just casual PvP. If you don't have a private server, you have to go to ranked to PvP. And let's be real here, not everybody trying to go to ranked. Some people just trying to chill and have fun and use their skills. So I think that's a good suggestion. And if you're in private server, you should still get some sort of rewards. I think ABA has it, so you get like AFK rewards for being in private server, which means you get the same rewards as you would in the AFK world. But overall, if you like ABA, I feel like you're gonna like this game because you're probably gonna like the combat. But if you don't like ABA, I don't know. I think it's not a coincidence that me, all my friends that play ABA enjoy the game. Say D4 really enjoyed the game too, clearly, and we all like ABA. But I still feel like a lot of y'all enjoy the PvE. I don't think the PvE is amazing or anything, and the story doesn't really feel like a story completely. It more just feels like fighting bosses and mobs. But honestly, it's still been pretty fun playing with friends, and it can get really challenging because they got like hard mode and impossible mode and stuff too. And I mean, I didn't say it's probably my favorite game of 2023 for no reason. I really like the game. And it already seems in a pretty release ready state, and they did say it's supposed to release soon, so hopefully that ends up happening. I'll be live on Twitch on this game soon if y'all are interested in that. And also, I appreciate y'all for watching so far. Maybe like, subscribe, or watch one of these videos on screen. Feel what I'm saying? Later.